listening to the Dynamic Women podcast. Each week, you'll be inspired by our global community of women. They'll share with you tools and stories to help you be dynamic in every area of life. Here's your host, award-winning coach, and the CEO and founder of Dynamic Women, Diane Rolston.
Hello, lovely dynamic woman, and welcome to the Dynamic Woman podcast. I'm Diane Rolston, your host, and I'm so excited to bring you today's show. Why? Because we are talking about having a mentor and how to get the most out of it. There are a bunch of reasons. Like some people think, I have a mentor and I need a mentor and I'm going to just get whatever wisdom I can from them. Well, there are 5 things specifically that you need to be thinking about in regards to your mentor. Now, in the traditional sense, a lot of mentors are actually volunteers. They are just supporting you. They are helping you. They're not there to give away all of their ideas. They're not there to advise you fully. They're there kind of just to help and guide you through whatever you're going through. And so we also have the idea of paid mentorship, where you pay to have a mentor in your life. You can also think of this person, if maybe you're like, I don't really have a mentor. They can also be a consultant. They can also be a coach. They can also be a business advisor. Or just someone else that's really cool that's in your life that's maybe part of a mastermind group with you. Or you get to chat with them every so often. Maybe it's like a cool aunt that you have in your life who's doing really well in life or business, a neighbor, someone else. So don't just get stuck on the idea that I don't have a mentor. And so this show, this podcast, what you're talking about today, Diane, can't help me. It can. I want you to think about how this can help you and who this can help you with. So all my coaching clients out there, all the Dynamic Women members out there, I want you to also use this when you think of coaching with me. I also want you to think of when you show up at Dynamic Women live events, what you can get out of me or the facilitator, whoever is there leading the event, how you can best get, use of your time, your energy, your money, whatever else you're investing in it. Okay, let's jump into the 5 different things that you should be looking at when you are having a mentorship. So 1, when you have a mentor, you should be looking for ways to be inspired. We're often in our own little box, our own little fishbowl, our own glass ceiling, our own limiting beliefs, boundaries, whatever you want to call them. And what the mentor knows, what this coach, consultant, whoever it may be knows, and from now on I'll just call them a mentor, whatever they know can push you beyond your own limiting beliefs. You should be inspired by talking to them. Now, what's the benefit of inspiration in your business or even in your life? When you have inspiration, you're probably more motivated to go for the things you want. When you're inspired, it helps you to do more things, so to get into action faster and then to stay dedicated to the action. And so if you have a mentor that is inspiring you every single time you get together, it's going to help to get you into resonance. And resonance is that energy, that flow. But another thing is your mentor should also be inspired by you. You may think, well, what could I teach them? It's not about teaching. It's about showing up with positive energy, showing up with gusto, showing up with that can-do attitude, and then doing stuff, implementing it so that your mentor gets inspired by you as well, inspired by your hustle, inspired by your positivity, whatever it may be. When you look at it of how can I get inspired by them and how can I inspire them as well? You just have the greatest recipe for success. Second thing that you need is you need to be thinking of what type of strategies do you need to learn? Because mentors are really great at sharing strategies, helping you to strategize about whatever it is. Mentors should be ahead of you in some way. It doesn't even have to be the same industry that they've maybe been successful in, but they will help you to strategize. But this is only when you come to the meeting prepared, when you come to the session with an agenda, with the points, the things that you are wanting to learn. So be clear about this type of strategies that you want to learn, and then use that word. Ask them what strategy would work here. Can we strategize over it? Strategize is also another word for brainstorm. And so when you get different strategies from someone, you're open to these different strategies, you might find actually the one that works for you rather than spinning your wheels or banging your head against the wall because you just can't figure it out. So the first thing you get from a mentor, but you should also give, is inspiration. The second thing you can get from a mentor are strategies, but come to the sessions, the meetings with your agenda set. Let them actually have the agenda in advance as well so that they can pre-think on the topics that you want to talk about. I actually do that with my clients. They send me a prep form before answering a bunch of questions. 1, so I know where they want to go. 2, to give them clarity and insight on what they're wanting and how life is. And 3, to give me the insight that I need to know where they're at, because they might not be sharing something with me. And I don't want to waste time in the session kind of hashing over what's going on in their life. I want a quick snapshot of that. And oftentimes the agenda with a prep form perfectly does that. Third thing a mentorship can give to you is a different point of view. So coming into things, you have a certain point of view that has been set for you based on not only who you are, but the experiences you've had and where you are in your journey in life or in business or whatever topic it is that you are now needing a new point of view on. A different point of view is great because sometimes because we're in that fishbowl, we're in those limiting beliefs, we might not even see it from another perspective. We might not even think of that being an option. So again, you need to be open to different points of view, different perspectives. But I tell you, a perspective shift that can come for you in your life or your business or in like any area of life could be huge for you. It could help you to make a quicker decision on something, help you get more motivated, help you make more money. So be very open to different points of view from a mentor. Biggest thing though, in choosing a mentor or coach, make sure that they are in alignment with your values. Because if you're getting a different point of view that's based on someone's values that are not in line with yours, you're not going to like their point of view. But if your values are in alignment, so for example, they like to do business with authenticity, with teamwork, this sort of thing, then their point of view is, not going to be to just ditch everybody, fire everybody, and do it yourself. The fourth thing that you can get from mentors are connections. This is money. This is great. And so looking at who your mentor knows, an easy way to do that is to get on LinkedIn. Get on LinkedIn and see who are they connected with and who out of those people should I be connected with. Also, get on their Facebook, get on their Instagram, see who is in their photos. A recent connection of mine, I realized is connected with somebody that I really, really want to do business with. And so when the time is right, I'll be asking them for a warm connection, an email introduction, something like that. And so your mentor would be happy to provide a great connection to you or for you, as long as you are ready for that connection. So you might have to do some work in order to have that connection work for you and to even be allowed to have that connection. Don't ask on the first date with your mentor. Just wait it out, build that relationship so that person, that mentor knows you, likes you, and you know what it is, trusts you. And so when they make the connection, right, they're opening their Rolodex to you. That is huge. You need to earn that. So don't ask for it on the first date with your mentor. Give it some time. Maybe you can even ask about this person. Hey, do you know this person? What are they like? Just to kind of gauge. They might even turn around and say, you know what, let me introduce you to them. You need to earn that trust, and the way you do that is by showing up to your mentor sessions on time, doing what you say you'll do, sending the agendas in, implementing what you've talked about, having that positive attitude, and living according to your values. And then they'll be happy to connect you with their people, with their friends. Next, the fifth thing that you can get from a mentor is when they do give you advice, when they do tell you a strategy, a point of view, make a connection or inspire you in some way, ask them for a story to help kind of sink that in for you. Stories from mentors will really help you to see how to implement what they're talking about. It'll also help that to stick in your mind so that you're like, oh yeah, I remember when my mentor told me this story. A colleague of mine told me a story about how she had a conversation with Richard Branson on Nectar Island. And the things that she told me in that helped to put into a picture for me, helped me to really get a feeling for a point that she was making. And so for you, don't be afraid to ask, hey, did that actually happen to you? Or do you have a story that could explain that? Or when you first meet with your mentor, say, you know what would be awesome if you could share stories. And of course, some stories they can't share based on confidentiality with their clients or in the business that they're doing. But just say, you know, I really, in working with you, I'd love to hear stories. I would love to hear how these things have affected you, how they've influenced you, or how you've done certain things. So ask for that so that these stories can back up the points that they're making. And when you have a great mentor that tells great stories, oh my goodness, those things are going to stick in you. You are going to go into a difficult decision and you're going to remember vividly how it felt, vividly the message, that big moral of the story, the lesson. You're going to remember it a lot better in stories than you probably are in just quotes or things being said. So now what? Well, if you don't have a mentor, a coach, a consultant, someone that you can go to, get advice, get support, I suggest you go find one. These 5 things, remember to be thinking about. Get inspiration from them, strategies, a different point of view, connections, and those really cool stories to back up the facts they're sharing with you. And when you show up looking to also inspire them. Show up with a very clear agenda, a very clear, questions and topics that you want to find out so you can get the strategies. Be open to different points of view. Build that trust with them so they'll open up their Rolodex and their connections to you. And design the relationship with them where you give them permission, or at least you ask them for the stories. I trust that's going to help you to get the most out of any mentorship that you have in your life. It is never too late, never too early to have a mentor, to have someone in your life to support you. And so if you don't have one, that's your homework. Go and find one. And if you already have one, think about these 5 things and ask yourself, am I really making the best use of this mentorship? And if not, get one, if not all of these 5 into play in the next couple of weeks. Your business and your life will thank me. And if you're thinking, maybe Diane could be my mentor, my coach, feel free to go over to www.dianerolston.com, check out some of my packages, or email info@dianerolston.com and say, send me the info to be booking Diane to have a conversation about if working with her is a fit for me. And don't forget to subscribe to the Dynamic Woman podcast and send us your topics. I am totally happy to cover whatever it is in alignment with life and business and success that you want to hear. I want to help you to get forward, to be inspired. So send them also to info@dianerolston.com. Until next time, stay dynamic. Bye.
Thank you, Dynamic Women, for joining us today. Please hop on over to iTunes to subscribe and leave us a review. Who do you know who needs to hear our message? We'd love it if you'd share our channel with your friends and family. If you're ready to be more dynamic, have more balance and more success, head over to www.dynamicwomenclub.com/free gift for your Key to Success book. Stay dynamic.